your children by annihilating other families. Let's watch I Did a Thing. I love that name. I did a thing. It's me. I did the thing. I did a thing. Can I forget this invention? Can this forgotten invention save your life? My dyslexia. Fuck.
I just used this car to run over a whole family of children.
What?
But all of that could have been avoided if this car was just fitted with an old-fashioned invention that doesn't exist anymore. So today, I'm going to remake this device and test its effectiveness, and then
That's such an interesting idea.
invent something of my own. It'll hopefully allow car owners to keep pedestrians safe, while also not taking away the joy of running them over. Now, looking at the history of vehicles in Australia, more people than ever are choosing to drive American-style pickups.
Oh, you know, this video is good. Oh, this is my first time watching I Did a Thing, so I'm excited. I was very intrigued by the idea of a car parachute. That's why I picked this one out.
June were up 85% on the same period last year. Workers remanufacture around 1,200 trucks a month.
And these cars are bigger, heavier.
Why do people like trucks? I never understood. I've always wanted, if I was ever going to have a car, I always wanted like a bug. I wanted a small little bug car. That's always the car I wanted. I wanted it in a cute color and I wanted a tiny little bug.
Heavier, less fuel efficient, and are just ruining the flow of roads. And with the marketing surrounding these trucks pushing the image that they are essential vehicles for a strong, modern, manly man that loves to drive on a dirt road once a year, it's no wonder insecure dickheads keep buying these giant American
It's not even just insecure dickheads. It's also these ladies. They're like, this is the perfect children's car. Protect your children by annihilating other families.
style youths. Like me, and I bought this stupid thing.
Oh
and with
my God.
even more powerful engines resulting in even longer braking times, it's almost like they are trying to produce death machines, which might actually be their agenda. Because if you buy a big car that's more like
To be honest, if you are towing shit, if you are in construction, you need to move a lot of shit. Like, it makes sense to have a truck, and it makes sense, right? But not everybody needs a truck. There's a lot of people that do not need trucks. I just want a small little bug.
likely to injure people in small cars, the people in small cars then want to get a bigger car to stop you killing them. And then it turns into an arms race to buy bigger and bigger vehicles. And this cycle continues until everyone is just driving an M1 Abrahams. And the stats in pedestrian vehicle deaths are pretty shocking. If you own a ute like this, you are 80% more likely than any other driver to hit a pedestrian.
Oh my God, 80% more likely?
And when you do hit someone, you are 50% more likely to kill them. But why? And maybe you think it's because they are heavier, faster, or that because the owners are more likely to be wankers. And these are all true, but the biggest factor is actually the grille height. When I've run over a family of children in a normal car with a low grille, you typically hit them in the legs and then throw them up onto the bonnet, distributing a lot of the energy. But with cars like this that have a grille height of 1.2 meters, unless I am running over Yao Ming, most people, especially children, are going to take the full impact straight into their vital organs. Also, because you're higher, you can't even see if a child walks in front of your car, which this lady nicely demonstrates by running over 8 children. And this is happening more and more, and people with
That makes so sense. They can't even see them. Look at the tiny child. You can't even see over the thing. We should have cars that are on the ground. Everybody needs free Ferraris. Free Ferraris for all.
higher grills are way more likely to run over their own children. So my device is going to have to stop this, and I think these forgotten inventions might just do that. And they were introduced when cars first appeared on the road, when people didn't know how to drive, and pedestrians didn't know how to walk. And kept stepping in front of cars, and they were killed in shocking numbers, almost at a similar level to today. So instead of slowing down, people came up with this thing, which pops out like an umbrella catching the person safely, which seems to work. And there are a couple of versions I've seen. Another has this bumper which pops up so the pedestrian can grab onto it so they don't get flung onto the road.
That's so interesting.
Or this one with a net. And that man definitely has a concussion. But I'm going to go with the umbrella version as that man seemed the least hurt. And that way, when I do hit you, you'll be placed gently inside this soft hammock. And then I can just apologize and drive you to work. Alright, the first thing I need to do is figure out how to get it to pop out quickly. And I don't have a plan, so I'm just going to start welding pieces of metal together and see where I end up. And I've actually had some of you comment on videos when I'm welding, asking if their eyes can get damaged by staring at me welding on camera without a mask. Which is so incredibly stupid. You can't. I'm the only one at risk here. So once that was done, I bunged a spring on, and now I've got a great way to whack myself in the head.
I mean, it's good to know that my eyes don't get damaged by watching him damage his eyes.
Then I just welded up another one, and then checked if they get in the way of each other. And I'd like to say I planned this, but somehow they don't rub or touch each other at all. Similar to your parents. And they also spring out nicely, which means I can do the same on the other side. And by me, I mean my mate Ruben, who was learning to weld, and I was sick of burning my eyes welding, so I thought it would be funny for his first ever weld to be criticized by millions of people online. I mean, looks exactly the same as mine. But somehow his welds look equally as bad as mine.
They all trash.
Then I just cut out some more metal for the swinging arms on the other side.
Oh my god. That is the definition of unhinged, and I love it.
Then attached them with springs and gave it a test to see if I'm on the right track with this concept. Okay, 3, 2, 1. That works so well. And that looks pretty great. And I almost sliced my femoral artery. It's not quite as fast as the ones from the video, but everything in old films always looks faster and sped up. Alright, now that I got the frame, I need to figure out how I'm making the fabric sail. And I was going to use my bed sheet, but since I only have one, I'm going to use this canvas tarp. And I don't really know the best way to do this. So I just kind of scrunched the material around the poles in the way I want it to sit, and then safety pinned it all down, and then sewed the hell out of it. And for this, I'm using a specific sewing technique for thick materials called the whipping ratchet stitch. And if you haven't heard of that, don't worry, I just made it up. And this is the first one I sewed, which looks pretty good. But then, someone must have snuck in at night while I was sleeping and sewed the rest, as they got progressively worse and worse. But I think
no, that is a bad stitch. And I'm a pretty good sewer.
they should still be strong enough. Also, while I was attaching the fabric, I found another thing I need to work out. If I drive into someone with this current setup, it won't do anything, as the poles will just collapse down, failing to stop the pedestrian from hitting the car. And at first, I considered making a ratchet on each arm so it locks their arms in place wherever they stop. But after I destroyed every spanner in my house, I realized this was way too much work, and that it might not even support the load. But then I spotted the perfect thing in my garage. This door with this spring-loaded latch. And luckily, I don't need to destroy my door to access this technology, and I just bought some of these gate locks, which I ground into a bevel and welded on. And now, when the arm swings out, it passes over this side of the bolt, pushing it down, and then it pops up, locking
So smart!
the arm into place. So I just welded 3 more into place.
Why? I shouldn't have paused.
And once I put the fabric back on, I was about to jump into it to see if it can hold my weight, but realized another thing I've done wrong. I stupidly left the end of the pole sharp, which is just going to rip through the canvas. So I put duct tape on the end and then cut out these little tabs to clamp the sheet down with, which should increase the surface area of the attachment points. And it should be done, but I'm still not going to test it with my body weight, as I'd prefer that if it breaks and goes catastrophically wrong, that it
I'm now terrified of pausing, because you never know what you're going to find when you pause.
Happens on the car at speed. Okay, next I need to make the release mechanism. And to do that, I'm going to use my new favorite thing, these quick release things.
Ooh,
which will allow me
sexy.
to open this without running away and slicing an artery. And my idea is to use this elastic, which will wrap around the poles and the fabric, and then when I pull the string... Please work. 3, 2, 1. Are they all locked? Lock.
Imagine there was like a single frame of him completely butt naked in the video, and you go in, you accidentally find him butt naked.
This has never happened to me before. Alright, hopefully that still works while there is a sheet on it with air resistance pushing up against it. But before I go any further, I want to tell you about the sponsor of the video, Odoo. Odoo is an all-in-one management software that provides entrepreneurs like me and you with a range of applications to make day-to-day management of their business way easier, including invoicing, accounting, website creation, and more. It's all here just in one place. And you can start off using the apps that your business requires. Let's say I want to make an e-commerce store to sell amazing American cars. All I have to do is follow 4 simple steps, starting with choosing online store for manufacturer.
Sometimes ads confuse me. Like sometimes ads are just silly little ads where they make fun of things and they talk about what this thing is. And then other ads like tell you step by step what you can use this thing for. It's really bizarre.
A business, then choosing one of the color palettes, adding the pages and features I want, and last step, getting a beautiful theme from these 3 options. Odoo Website Builder uses AI to build you a beautiful online store that's ready to customize. And you get all this for free since your first Odoo application is free for life with unlimited hosting and support. They also offer free personalized domain name for 1 year. It's so easy to create your online store and you don't need any technical skill. Let's say I want to sell accessories for cars. I just click on New at top right, type the product name, and let's say I'm selling alloy wheels for $70 and done. Now I can just drag and drop blocks to make this page more appealing, add images and the description of the product. So go check out my link in the description to get started for free with Odoo today. Okay, that's done. Now I need to work out how I'm attaching it to my car, which probably should have been my first step. But lucky for me, the car has these hooks underneath, which I think are there to pull the car off pedestrians when it runs them over. And I'm going to use them. Now, at first, I thought I was going to put a metal pole in there and then just bolt it on and then attach it like that. But then I thought, no, if this bends down while I'm driving and catches the road, the metal pole is going to get shot straight through the car suspension, through the driver's compartment and into my cock. So instead, I'm going to use wood. My logic here is that the wood is weaker than the metal it's attached to, so hopefully it snaps before it does any real damage to the car or me. I just hope my insurance company isn't watching this. Okay, I made this shield thing which I bolted in with U-bolts, and it's made out of polycarbonate, which is thick enough to stop a bullet, so hopefully it stops the mannequin from damaging the car. Then I just put the pedestrian catcher on the front, and as soon as I put on the pedestrian catcher, I noticed that
I really want to see how it's gonna turn out. I'm really curious. I'm really curious.
the wood bends a lot under the weight. So I invented something I've never seen before, this round thing, which I'm calling a uniform diameter rotary transporter, which should support the weight.
A wheel.
Now, before I go and test this on the road, I want to try my own brand new, maybe life-saving solution. Cars have airbags inside to protect passengers, so why not have them on the outside to protect pedestrians? Surely, pedestrian lives will be saved if just before an impact, a nice soft pillow pops out for them to sleep on. And I managed to get these 4 airbags, which was surprisingly hard. And I found out after being turned away by multiple mechanics that it's illegal for them to sell large quantities of airbags to individuals without a proper reason. But luckily, I found a guy that didn't want to be named out west that did an under-the-table cash deal. Thank you, Fahood. So I'm going to have the airbags attached here, and then just before I hit the pedestrian, there's going to be a pressure plate which sets off the airbag. But before I go out on the streets and test it, I have to set one of these off, just to know they work, with this baby. And I couldn't get it to work. Either Fahood gave me broken airbags, or there's a safety mechanism here that's been removed to stop idiots like me playing with it. Which might be the case, as it looks like these pins need to be pushed into another contact plate to work. And I considered buying some proper connection points, but got lazy and decided to just play around with the placement of the wires and hooked them up randomly. Also this time, I'm going to put these awesome stickers on that measure G-force, and they are the same ones used by the Mythbusters, and I mean exactly the same ones. I stole them from Jamie Hyneman. So we got 25 Gs, 50 Gs, and 100 Gs, and generally 100 Gs is fatal.
Rest in peace, Jamie.
3, 2, 1. Wait, did the baby's head come off?
Yep.
That's not you.
And I guess that's why the government restricts babies from driving cars. So it's time to test all of this out, and I need somewhere with a long road and no one around. And luckily, one of my subscribers is a hoon, and he told me about an abandoned highway which they may or may not use for drag racing, which is perfect for this test. Except on the way in, we set off an alarm. so we probably got an hour or two until the cops turn up. So we tried to be quick and attached the shield first and then the tyres.
What do you think's gonna happen?
I think it's gonna shatter.
What's happening?
Both wheels are turning. The wheels are turning. Yeah, they seem a bit jumpy.
That's fine.
Then, once the tyres seemed like they were working, we attached the pedestrian catcher and gave it a stationary test.
There's so many things about this.
Like what?
Like the fact that there's no like actual management for the fabric. So if a bit of it comes out while you're driving and catches something on the ground, like I have no idea what's gonna happen.
Okay, stand exactly where you are.
Were you gonna hit me?
No. Okay, move back. Okay, please work.
That's gonna be sick.
Otherwise, we came out here for nothing.
Ooh.
Wait, why am I laughing? I'm here for no reason as well.
Come on, you f***. There we go.
And it's not opening. And in my test at Holmes, I forgot that the fabric would be way more bunched up and it's just getting caught on itself. So I decided to just lock it
I don't know why he's barefoot, but he's living on the edge, you know?
open and hit the mannequin with the G-force stickers and see if this whole thing works at all.
That's recording. Still feels like a good idea.
Yeah, I'm quite scared.
And then...
Oh, and you can't do any sharp... What? You can't do any sharp turns in this thing. Those wheels at the front don't turn.
Oh, that's making weird movements.
Yeah, it's of course. The wheels you got on there don't turn. It's just kind of scraping against the ground and fighting against the rest of your car.
Yeah, but let me ask you this.
But you just ran over another wheel.
What?
You drive forward a bit.
A wheel?
Did a wheel fall off? Of course it fell off, actually. There's 2 screws in it. There's a wheel on the road.
I ran over a wheel?
Yeah, one of the wheels, both wheels fell off. They're both just gone. Like, you drove like 2 centimeters an hour.
Immediately everything's falling apart.
What's that weird noise?
Apparently it's actually not safe to drive barefoot. So don't be driving barefoot.
It's me driving. Alex, you know what? I think the wheels are gonna work.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Well,
This is fine. This is fine.
Let's do it.
What's the worst?
Look how much that's hanging down. If that catches, we're...
You're getting impaled.
No, we're not getting impaled. Okay, let's do this.
Well, that's the only thing
Guys, do not do this at home, please. Disclaimer, do not do this at home.
that's going to break. That's a good omen. That's the only thing that's going to break today.
yeah, you film forward.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll send to you after the fact.
Ready, set.
That's not good, Lombax.
So what are you doing? I think I go 50 Ks. Oh! Fuck. Well, your thing's immediately broken.
Everything's broken. The person's dead. Everything's dead.
Ay. Wait, how did the music just turn?
Why is it immediately broken? What does that smell? Did I just ruin my car?
I mean, the mannequin's disappeared. It's...
No. That's the mannequin.
Oh, wait, something's leaking.
I've done some serious damage to my car.
Oh.
Look onto the car.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
Holy shit. Some red stuff's coming out. Well, you're going to drink it.
That's the coolant. Okay, we're done. Straight.
Well, I've we up. Holy shit. Probably this.
Why did I
Wow, good thing he has a successful YouTube channel.
let Ruben film some of the welds?
Nothing could go
I
wrong.
thought that would be funny.
The first time weld. Well, what happened to the dummy?
Oh my god, the side that the other guy welded broke off. Bad welding.
Let's just finish the experiment.
100 G's, dead.
Yeah.
25 G's, dead.
And my car.
dead.
And we thought it might have been Ruben's first time weld that had snapped and punctured the car, but after finding the mannequin leg covered in blood, it was definitely my fault.
Wait, it's covered in Kool-Aid. It looks like blood.
And the mannequin stand bounced underneath the car, and you can even see it lifts the car up, puncturing something important and denting the frame.
What else is there?
Look at that dent in the frame.
And after chatting to Ruben on the phone, we figured out that it was the transmission, and all the useful fluid it needs to survive was gone.
Is the fluid like water or is it like a bit viscous?
It's a bit
You're right, it is transmission fluid.
viscous.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably power steering fluid or like transmission, but your transmission would
Gotta be fucked.
in metal, so
Transmission would be the gears if I just don't change. Is that the
What?
gears?
No, you can't drive home in first.
No, I'm not going to drive home. I'll drive it out of here and then we'll have to get Ubers home, Alexa.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, we pretty quickly worked out that we were not driving out of here, even if we wanted to, as there was no more liquid left in the transmission and the car was locked in park.
Okay,
That's not a good noise.
it's on.
Service vehicle shift malfunction. Service required.
Well, you've got the service button, which is like a very low drama way of saying you destroyed your car.
I think maybe it's a coincidence, and maybe my car's just due for a service.
Oh yeah.
Went straight back
Wait,
to
we have
park.
to walk all the way back.
The worst.
Worst possible.
I mean, the worst possible thing is
But we die.
we die.
Yeah.
This is probably almost the same.
We just have to walk a long way, which is kind of like going to heaven.
Yeah, I guess. And this sucks. And after a long 30-minute walk talking to 12 different mechanics that were all trying to palm the job onto someone else, made more complicated by the fact that I didn't want to tell them that I had purposely driven into a metal spike. I have had something shot up and pierce my transmission fluid pan. We finally managed to get in touch with a tow truck that would be there in 3 hours.
Hey, my Uber's here. See you later.
And while Alexa was driving away, I couldn't help but feel disappointed. Firstly, because my device failed so easily, but mostly that I didn't get to let off the airbags, which I was so excited to do. But as if on cue, a cop showed up and did a lap of the road we were just on, making me feel a whole lot better about not illegally letting off a bunch of airbags down there. Then eventually the tow truck pulled up and pulled my bleeding car filled with dismembered mannequins and explosives to the mechanic. You may also be thinking that I just wasted the last month creating the most useless thing I've ever made, but I would argue that in a way, it was actually very successful, and I exceeded my wildest dreams of what was possible, and I created the most successful pedestrian catcher ever, a device capable of completely destroying a 2.5-ton car in seconds. And if everyone just walked around with a mannequin stand on them at all times, there would be no big cars left on the road, and the world would be a pedestrian utopia. Thank you so much for watching. If you like that, please subscribe and check out some of my other videos.
Oh my god! That was not what I was expecting it would go in, but I'm glad nobody died.